What's going on, everyone? My name is Captain Flowers. I am an aspiring shoutcaster. I'm going to be doing both the play-by-play and color commentary for today's match, which is going to be a diamond level 5 versus 5 ranked team game. It ought to be a lot of fun to shoutcast. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It feels like the right time for some League of Legends action. So let's hop right into this one here. We're at the 1 minute mark of this game. I got it paused. We've got T-Rect over here in the blue versus Alper over here in the red, as T-Rect manages to find themselves in invade, and Alper might be in a little bit of a tough spot. It's going to be T-Rect able to find the damage down onto Morgana. Feed Crank looking to be able to get away, going to be able to flash the wall, but the Winter's Bite is down. The stun is procced. Hyperion and the rest of T-Rect going to be able to find that first blood. Big Papa Fudge going to be the first one onto the board here in this game at the 1 minute 10-second mark, as the rest of T-Rect gets in position to potentially set up for even more off the back of this invade. They've already found success. Now they expect their enemy to expect them to leave, and they're going to be looking for even more early aggression if they're able to find it. They've got wonderful wards up here. Going to see if anyone comes near them from any possible angle. It's going to be Big Papa Fudge, the guy who managed to get the money the first time, going to be able to get back now. Master Yi, ELO boosted is the name. Hopefully he doesn't play like it, but him and Juicebox Drizzle going to be the ones looking to start off this double jungle pattern, while all 5 members of T-Rect still waiting at this wolf spawn. They're going to be able to find a lot more violence here as these camps start up. They're going to wait until these guys start the fight onto the camps, make sure those aggro abilities have already been used, and now here they go. Dildo Swagger's going to be able to find the charm onto Juicebox Drizzle. Juicebox, Elo boosted, both trying to run away. The Dark Binding going to be able to come out defensively, but Juicebox Drizzle going to drop now. The second kill of the game comes out during the second minute of the game, and this is T-Rect taking a wonderful advantage early on. A little bit of unorthodox play, a lot of unexpected aggro coming out from them, and it's something that Alper is having a very difficult time dealing with early on. Nobody expects that. Nobody expects you to sit 5-man deep in the wolf spawn camp and stay there until the 2 minute mark. Is exactly what they did, and it ended up getting them a 1,000 gold advantage here just 2.5 minutes into the game. Now, one thing to watch for this game and one thing to really take into account is the team compositions. It's something that I haven't been able to really talk about yet because there was so much action here before the typical minion spawning point where you actually have things to comment on in the lanes. So we've got a lot of carry potential here over on the side of Alper. You've got Master Yi, you've got Brand, you've got Jinx. They all dish out so much damage. It's very, very easy for any of these champions to be able to carry the game should they be able to find themselves ahead. Over on the side of T-Rect, you've got a lot of damage in return, but you've also got quite a lot of crowd control. You've got the Ahri Charm, you've got the Braum, you've got the Sejuani with all that AoE lockdown, and then you've got Gangplank and Caitlyn able to dish out so much damage as well. Brand going to be able to find a lot of combo damage onto Dildo Swaggins here to the mid lane. It's going to be the Ignite drop down, burning him very, very low, but will not be able to take him down all the way to 0. Are you going to have to walk away from that one, but does not expend any summoners to do so. Smut Peddler able to find a very advantageous trade here early on in the mid lane. Going to be able to use that to extend his lead there, continue to exert that pressure, and force Experiment, the Sejuani jungle, to show up into the mid lane and try to help his ally out because the Flame Pillar is going to come down, and Smut Peddler gets his team onto the board here. 4 minutes into this game, 2-1 now the score. It's still going to be Alper down about 800 gold, but when the mid laner picks up a 1-for-1 like that, it's always promising. That's going to help get the team morale back up, keep everybody focused on the goal after that little bit of a rocky start there in their own blue side jungle. In terms of the junglers this game, one interesting thing to note is the fact that neither one of these junglers really likes to be too active early on in the game. Master Yi just likes to farm up, get that Devour, get those camps, become that mid-game, late-game monster. Sejuani's a champion who just isn't that effective in terms of her ganking power, especially relative to other effective junglers early on. Once she has that 6, that can all change. Elo boosted here into the bot side. Wizard Swag very low, but it's going to be Phenom, the one who might be in a little bit of trouble. The exhaust comes down onto Jinx. Feed Crank taken very low as well. Both the bot laners here on the side of Alper going to be taken low, but it's Phenom who eats a binding. The zap's going to come out. A couple more autos going to be able to take him down. 1, 2, there it is. Wiz Swag takes down Phenom and ties the score up 2-2 here, as Alper, after their initial fumble there in the jungle, will not go down without a fight. Juicebox Drizzle able to find the damage onto Big Papa Fudge here into the top side as well, but the Pirate is going to go 1-for-1, just trade blows with him. Neither one of these guys willing to back off, both down to about 200 HP, but it's Big Papa Fudge who has to walk away from this one. Smut Peddler not going to be able to find the stun there into the mid lane this time. But these guys are really going hard in this game. I love the plays being made on both sides. The early play into the jungle coming out from T-Rex got them ahead, but then very, very solid laning here coming out from the side of Alper, able to get them what they need to come back into this game. Brand with his solo kill onto Ahri, and then they're into the bot side. We saw T-Rex looking to be able to turn that one around, but now it's all about Big Papa Fudge and Juicebox Drizzle into that 1v1 top side. More Brand damage down onto Dildo Swaggins there in the mid lane. Ahri really struggling to be able to avoid these skill shots and get herself away from that danger. Smut Peddler doing a good job of controlling the lane, making sure that he's taking trades that he knows he can win. Brand's a champion who packs a lot of damage, but a lot of that damage depends on the stun and depends on that Flame Pillar being able to connect. If you miss him, you don't have the damage experiment into the mid lane. The charm will not be able to connect. Brand does not have ultimate to be able to try to turn this one around. Going to just be able to back off. Sejuani forced to walk away, and that's what we're talking about with Sejuani not having that much ganking power here early on before she has that ultimate. A little bit of a Winter's Bite going to come out there, down onto Wiz Swag into the bot side, but nothing that he's not just going to be able to laugh off and go back to farming. Speaking of farm, if we take a look at how these compare across the board right now, we can see a slight advantage into the bot side for T-Rex. Dead even there into the top lane. Same with the mid experiment into the top side, looking to make his presence known one more time. The tree has no mana, but Gangplank is not in a very good position to be able to catch up. Hyperion eats a binding there into the bot side. Going to be the Tormented Soil coming out as well, but Phenom jumping in there to keep his ally safe. That's the power of the Braum. That's the ability to get that carry out of harm's way and keep her going. Very well played here into the bot side by T-Rex. They're able to turn a bad situation into something salvageable. They keep Caitlyn in the lane. She's potted up. She's good to go. And these guys are going to continue to be able to try to eke out that little bit of a CS lead they've been able to find themselves here into the bot side. The gold in this game still about a 400 advantage over onto the side of T-Rex. They were able to get so much extra gold from making sure that they got assists for everyone on the team on those first two kills they found into the jungle. And it's really just helping them here because we can see that that's where the gold advantage is coming from. The CS there into the mid and bot lanes is dead even, but you've got Gangplank up into the top side, also accounting for a lot of that gold lead due to the fact that he's so far up on his counterpart. Maokai and Gangplank both are level 6 at this point. Maokai's got the TP, Gangplank does not. But one thing about Big Papa Fudge on this Gangplank, he's going to have the ability to help into the bot side with that ultimate, and there it is. Wiz Swag brought down immediately. The Ahri rotation coming up with that Gangplank ulti. You don't need a TP when you've got the global ultimate pressure. He's able to drop it. He finds the damage, grabs a free assist for himself, and puts a kill onto that mid laner who had fallen a little bit behind her counterpart there after that initial 1v1 trade he had won earlier. And now it's going to be T-Rex able to rotate over to this dragon and look to secure dragon number 1 nice and early here at the 8-minute mark. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to have going for you, especially against a Sated Devourer jungler like this Master Yi. Every single dragon that you shut him away from in the early game, every single dragon that you prevent him from being able to stack up and grab those free 5 stacks, is more and more delay on that Sated Devourer. Not only is it delaying his power spike, it's a mental thing. He wants to make sure he's farming as much as possible until he gets that, so you're preventing his mental state from switching from farm mode to carry mode so long as that dragon is not in his possession. Now he's got to farm up 5 more camps. It's going to be 5 more camps worth of time that he's more concerned about stacks than he is about directly carrying the game. You got to indirectly carry the game with the stacks to be able to carry it with the Sated Devourer afterwards. Big Papa Fudge and Juicebox Drizzle up into the 1v1 top side. Gangplank going to find a bullet, but not a whole lot of damage from it onto Juicebox. We can see Maokai not really going for the 1v1 itemization here, instead heading for that Righteous Glory or Rod of Ages. Going to be able to help him out into the team fights and make him scale into that more of a mid-game force that he wants to be. But we can see Gangplank going with the bank plank build. He's going to have that Avarice Blade, he's going to have the Sheen, and now he's working on turning it into that Triforce. He's going to be able to farm up so much money with that, just able to blow up the entire minion wave with a single barrel, and it's going to be a big problem for this enemy team on the Alper side to deal with so much damage coming out of this Pirate as the mid-game rolls around. Braum Caitlyn looking to be able to find a little bit of aggro onto Wiz Swag into the bot side. Winter's Bite not going to connect. The Flame Choppers come down, and the binding connects, but it's onto Phenom. The Black Shield is there, able to save Jinx from the knockup, but now she's exhausted. She doesn't have that much HP to work with. Feed Crank looking to try to zone Hyperion away, forced to be having to pop the heal. Ace in the hole going to be able to find him. That's 1 down. Wiz Swag able to keep himself alive for the time being. Not going to be able to take Hyperion out in return. A 1-for-0 there into the bot side. Going to favor T-Rex. Dildo Swag and Smut Peddler might be getting into the 1v1, but it's just going to be a little bit of damage coming out onto Dildo instead. Smut Peddler able to walk away from that one, get a little bit of an edge in that trade as he's also finding himself a CS lead here into the mid lane now. The biggest lead in the game is actually his as Elo boosted into the top side with Juicebox Drizzle looking to make it a play on the big Papa Fudge. The teleport comes in, but it's going to be too little, too late. Dildo Swaggin's not able to land that charm onto the target he's looking for, but now the experiments here. The 2v2 is going to break out, and with the health bars already so low onto the side of Alper, it's going to be an easy 2 for 0 up here into the top side until Smut Peddler shows up, looking to be able to find that ricochet, that bounce damage. Not going to be able to find exactly what he's looking for, but the trade ultimately ends up a 2 for 1 in the favor of T-Rex. Experiment looking to find even more aggression onto Smut Peddler. The flash forward with the charm from Dildo Swaggin. It's not going to be able to connect thanks to a wonderful counter flash coming out here from Smut Peddler. You guys are going to have to forgive me for my voice starting to give out a little bit here. Been sick for the past couple days, so doing what I can to try to make sure that this cast stays high quality. But if the action keeps coming like this, if both teams keep trying to make the plays that are going to win them the game like this, I can't make any promises. That being said, I love seeing games like this. Both teams are taking action. Neither team is willing to say, okay, let's sit back, let's farm, let's wait for later. They both want to get ahead. They both want to make this game their own. And coming here into the mid game, it's T-Rex who are actually finding their way to do that a little bit better. 6-3, they've got the advantage in both towers and dragons, and now they're up about 2,500 gold as well. The aggro coming out from Alper here into the mid lane, but it's going to be Juicebox Drizzle, the one who drops very low, very quickly. The Winter's Bite able to stun him up, and the orb comes out from Dildo Swaggins, brings him down, but a Super Mega Death Rocket from long way away comes out and takes Hyperion out in return. A 1 for 1 overall the trade score here into the mid side. Experiment waiting in the wings, making sure his ally's not in too much trouble as Elo boosted and Feed Crank look to just shove this minion wave up and create as much pressure as possible, but now they're in a 4v2. Now they're not where they want to be. It's Elo boosted, going to be dropping immediately as Big Papa Fudge finds himself another kill there onto the Morgana right afterwards, dropping the ultimate down. Doesn't even really need it, placing it in a good position to prevent them from being able to run or flash away. He would have the follow-up damage, he would have the follow-up slow, and now Smut Peddler is not where he wants to be. He's going to eat a charm. The damage comes out. Experiment with the follow-up. Big Papa Fudge finds the barrels, but will the brand ult be enough to bring anyone down? The answer is yes. Bacon's on the menu. Experiment going to fall in return, but now these guys are able to find a turret. Yeah, you go for the 1 for 1 there. That's not always what you want to see. Obviously, you'd love to be able to actually win out in those trades, but when you can get the free turret off of it, it more than makes up for it. However, there into the bot side, WizSwag realizes how much effort was being focused by T-Rex into the mid lane, sees his opportunity to take that bot lane turret in return, and it's now a 4,000 gold game in the favor of T-Rex here at the 13-minute mark. Dragon going to be spawning for the second time in this game here in about a minute, a little bit more. And this is going to be something that's very important for both teams to contest. Already, like I've said, you've got the Sated Devoured jungler on one side. That's one big reason why Dragon is more important than ever. On the other side, you don't want to see this T-Rex squad get too far ahead. If you are Alper and T-Rex Hyperion in a little bit of trouble down here, bot side, Elo boosted, closing in. He's got the Highlander, he's got the damage, and he's going to be able to bring him down nice and easy. But now Phenom, Experiment, and Dildo Swaggins looking to be able to close in and make this one at least a 1 for 1. Feed Crank coming in, trying to be able to keep Elo boosted alive. But what's going to happen is it just ends up being a 2 for 1 instead of a 1 for 1. Elo boosted about to drop, and now Feed Crank, the one who is not going to be able to find his way out of here. Brand doing what he can to try to show up and get his ally out of dodge, but he's not quite going to be able to pull that one off. They're able to donate the kill over to Ahri. A double kill for Dildo Swaggins. Started off 0-1, now he's 6-1. This Ahri completely starting to take over the game. 11 out of 12 kill participation. A wonderful performance coming out from this mid lane. One thing to take note of here into this game as well is Phenom finds himself stunned up over here, not quite going to be able to be in range to eat those chompers, but WizSwag and Smut Peddler able to put a lot of damage out onto the Mustache Man, but it's going to be Dildo Swaggins finding another orb. Godlike on this Ahri. 14 minutes, 20 seconds into the game. Experiment over the wall, going to be able to stun up that brand long enough for the Gangplank ult and the Ahri damage to find Ahri yet another double kill and continue to extend T-Rex lead over Alper here as they manage to find their second dragon as well. It's going to be 2 turrets to 2 turrets, but 2 dragons to 0, a 6,000 gold lead, and 8 kills up here for this T-Rex team, being led, of course, by the Ahri on the 8-1-5, all but 1 kill participation, doing wonderfully. The only area of the game where she's not exactly too far ahead is in that farm department, not having a whole lot there, especially compared to her teammates, but Elo boosted, going to be caught out inside his own jungle. Who needs to farm creeps and farm champions? Master Yi going to go down for the 4th time this game as Big Papa Fudge finds the turret topside, but he's going to pay for it with his life. That's a trade they're going to be okay with making. Smut Peddler here into the mid lane, trying to do what he can to defend this one. Looking to chase Hyperion off, going to be able to do that. Doesn't want to chase it any further. Phenom waiting nearby, ready to help that Caitlyn out if she needs it. And we can see by the farm comparisons in this game, you got Gangplank on 120, you got Caitlyn on 125. The highest farm count over onto the side of Alper is 98 on the Jinx. These guys are starting to fall further and further behind simply because the level of rotation that we're seeing coming out from T-Rect, the amount of action, the amount of heads-up playmaking that these guys are doing as a team, these coordinated movements with the roams from Ahri and the ultimates coming down across the map from Gangplank, they're making it difficult for Alper to be able to find the farm, when, and where they want to find it, and they're being forced to sacrifice more in comparison to what kind of pressure Alper is putting out onto T-Rect. T-Rect is doing a wonderful job realizing their advantage as we get into the mid game and pressuring it. They're making things happen with the lead they've got. They're saying, look guys, we've got 6,000 gold. We've got 7,000 gold up on these guys. We've got the dragon advantage. We're the ones in control of this game. We've got this Ahri on 8-1 and 6 with Luden's Morello Namicon finished at 16 minutes. We need to make sure we're constantly rotating. We need to make sure we're finding these picks on these guys in between rotations. When they come out to farm like this, we've got to be the ones to collapse upon them. Smut Peddler going to be able to find a little bit of damage onto Dildo's Flagons, but the Black Shield going to be able to save him from the charm. Experiment off to the side. This is going to be another collapse. Phenom takes down Smut Peddler. Feed Crank now the one in trouble as T-Rect look to be able to make this one another free 2 for 0. Right as I get done commenting on how they punish them for trying to farm. They punish them for trying to farm. Elo boosted and Big Papa Fudge into the 1v1 topside. The barrel goes off, but the Pirate might be in a little bit of trouble here, flashing over into the brush. Going to be able to keep him alive long enough for him to get that gun cooldown and take Elo boosted out. Juicebox Drizzle now under pressure, and they're going to go Lumberjack, and they chop down the tree into the mid lane, and that is an ace coming out in the favor of T-Rect. That entire fight, I didn't even get to comment on the Caitlyn versus Jinx 1v1 there into the bot side, and you can see by the fact that Caitlyn is still alive and pushing down that tier 2 turret that she is going to be the one who comes out on top in that engagement. T-Rect up now ahead almost 12,000 gold. 17 minutes into this game as Smut Peddler eats even more skill shots. Experiment going to be able to get that revenge kill for dying to him earlier. And now 21-7, 6 turrets to 2, 38,000 to not even 25,000 gold. T-Rect has such a ridiculous lead at such an early point in the game. We're past the point now where you can say, well, here's what Alper needs to do to win. Where we're at now, you're looking at this game from the perspective of, well, here's what T-Rect needs to do to lose. And in order to lose this game, T-Rect pretty much just needs to stop making plays at all, wait for Baron to spawn, and then funnel in one at a time trying to clear it over and over and over again. Give up about 3 aces worth of kills and the Baron buff over to these guys on Alper. Anything short of that, I don't see Alper having a chance at coming back into this game with the current deficit that they're looking at. You've got so much power on Ahri, so much power on Gangplank, and Caitlyn even starting to start finding those items, and once she's got them, it's going to be really difficult to deal with her as well. There's just no answer to all these threats over here onto the side of T-Rect, and they've got the CC to back it up as well. It's not just an everybody's a carry style comp. They've got the ability to team fight well, they've got the lead to team fight well, and they've got the momentum to keep doing what they've been doing this entire game. Dildo Swagons, Big Papa Fudge going to be looking to be able to find Smut Peddler if they can clear out that brand. That's going to be probably the #1 target to be able to take down Winter's Bite Lands. The Gangplank all comes down for good measure, and Dildo Swagons finds his 10th kill of the game. Wiz Swag forced to back away from these guys. Gangplank not going to be able to find anything of real value with those barrels. But now we've got T-Rect knocking on the door to the base here. Phenom, the one in trouble, is going to be Master Yi. Looking to be able to take him down. Elo boosted, not quite going to be able to find what he's looking for, but Wiz Swag secures it onto Phenom. Elo boosted, in trouble, going to be brought down immediately by Big Papa Fudge. Feed Crank looking to try to do what he can to deal with this Ahri in their base. She is finally going to go down. The shutdown credit goes over there to that Maokai, to Juicebox Drizzle, able to finally bring down that mid laner that has not died since the early first moments of the game. But now you've still got to deal with the rest of the team. This isn't Ahri in a vacuum. This is Ahri with a team of 4 other players who are all also very, very far ahead. 13,000 gold to be exact. They're backing off now. They realize that Baron's going to spawn in 20 minutes. Dragon's going to spawn, not in 20 minutes. Baron's going to spawn in 20 seconds. Dragon's going to spawn in a minute. And it's going to be T-Rect able to take their pick of what they want to look for. They can go for the Dragon, easy breezy. There's absolutely no way that Alper can contest this one. Or they can even try to force the Baron here nice and early. They've got such an advantage that as long as they ward up, as long as they maintain control of the area and are able to decide exactly what they want to do if they see Alper coming, they should be just fine. And once you've got that Baron buff, you just steamroll down the rest of the Alper base. we can finally see a little bit of itemization here coming online onto the side of Alper. You've got the Frozen Heart on Maokai. You've got the magic penetration stacking coming down onto Brand using that Haunting Guise. The charm from Dildo Swaggins over the wall, not going to be able to find his intended target. But just as I was talking about earlier, look at what Alper has to deal with in terms of the movements and the game plan that T-Rex is going with right now. The fact that they come out of their base just a few feet past the steps and immediately you just see an Ari charm come out. That's their entire reality in this game right now. They're not allowed to farm past a certain line, which is pretty much a flash distance away from their turret safety, simply because if they do, they're going to be collapsed upon. You can see WizSwag coming out a little bit further here, about to the wreckage of that tier 2 turret, but the reason he's even able to do that is because Feed Crank behind him is there, he's got the black shield to be able to keep him alive, and WizSwag has the heal if he should need it, but honestly, it's still a risky play. Phenom, Experiment, and Hyperion going to be able to find Dragon number 3 for themselves. The movement speed Dragon going to help them to control these fights that much better. That's another objective under their belts, still compared to the 0 over here on the side of Alper. Baron or turret, the choice is theirs. And this is one part of the game that's going to be interesting to see. Normally when a game is this stompy, it kind of seems like some of the interest gets lost, right? It's pretty obvious at this point who's going to win the game. But the interesting part to watch isn't really who's going to win this game, because taking all bets, I'm going to say T-Rex wins the game, spoiler alert. But the real question here is, can they close out the game? And the answer is yes, because the surrender button is the strongest carry here in League of Legends. 21 minutes, 47 seconds into the game, 24-9 the final score, with an over 13,000 gold lead there in the favor of T-Rex versus Alper. GG, well played to everybody involved. It was a fun one to watch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, my name is Captain Flowers. I am an aspiring shoutcaster. If you'd like this cast, if you'd like to see more of them, please feel free to check out the rest of the videos here on this channel, or check out Twitch TV/HouseParty5v5 on the weekends. It's an amateur LCS style organization that I also handle casting for. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all next time.